Hey guys, we are in rural Kentucky. We're at that stage of the journey where you got punched in the face last night a bit, or yesterday, and now life is telling us to stay still. Yeah, it's to be expected, on an adventure. Like, at times things are just going to be hard and there's not much you're going to be able to do about it. And actually, those are some of the sweetest opportunities when you're undertaking some kind of journey. It's actually when things are difficult that you realize, this is why I did this. This is why I left my cozy cabin and that very soft energy vortex in Colorado. It's like for this moment right here where I'm stuck in this really very rough hotel, being forced to go super, super deep within to find peace. And like noticing can I find God here? Can I find God here? So yeah, I tried to, it was so funny. I tried to book this Airbnb and it just wasn't going to work out. And as I was leaving the Airbnb, a box with glass in it fell out of my car and glass shattered on the asphalt. And as I was picking up shards of glass from the asphalt, I was like, oh, okay, God. Oh yeah, okay. It's officially begun, It's like interesting. And then the only place I could find was this really rundown Motel 6 in very rural Kentucky. And I don't want to put too much horrible imagery in your guys' consciousness this morning, but I'll spare you the details. But I'll just say this, it was not a refined energy by any stretch. It was really dense and just, and the noises around, and I didn't feel unsafe at all. Like in the environment, but it was just rough on the body. I would have been much better off sleeping in my car, but I had already paid for it, and I needed to be in a place with light because I had work to do. And thank you to those who are booking sessions while I'm on this road trip. It just brings brings some more richness to this experience, to be able to meet with you guys and hold space for you guys. So I had to be somewhere that was light, and there was really nowhere else to go. And it was like, you're gonna have to be in this Motel 6, buddy. Not a thing I like to do. And, I would have been so much better off just sleeping in my car. But like I said, I had to get somewhere because I had to work. It was getting dark out. I needed light. And it was kind of one of those things, like sometimes God just corners us. Like God just I'm going to corner you right here in this Motel 6. So you're going to face these feelings within yourself. You're going to have to dig really deep to find any sense of, wouldn't even say comfort, but just a sense of a little bit of contentment, I guess. And it was so funny. I had to really be in my power with the guy at the front desk. He was really pushing up against me, trying to charge me more than I was promised to be on the phone. And I could just feel my belly activate, my hara. And there's just this energy in me, I'm not budging. I'm just not budging. And I just could feel okay, life is bringing different things online, different energies online that I haven't needed in 6 months. Life is helping me get in touch with different parts of myself on this journey. And it was interesting. He gave me the key. 111 was my room. And I was like, all right. All right, God. 111, huh? I was even hesitant to say this because this really isn't a thing for me anymore. Like, am I on the right track? Am I not? For me, it's just like, here, this is where we are. I'm not in my mind too much about, is this the right way or wrong way? But it was interesting getting 111, having a session in that room, a really beautiful session with a client, and just feeling lots of light in the darkness of that environment. You know, people out sitting out front of their rooms on their phone having very, we'll say, animated conversations. You know, I went through with sage, I lit some candles. There's only so much you can do. But it was very fascinating, just all the light that was there. And I had a dyad with these two men late at night, like at midnight, because I was not sleeping. And I was like, oh, I'll do a dyad. It's actually called a triad when you dyad with two different people. And I could just feel like the masculine there, and the connection with them. And then, after that dyad, something in the dyad was coming through, like, can I see that everything here is God? Can I not be in aversion to anything around me and notice that it is all God? Because at the end of the day, everything is God. And so I remember getting off, that dyad ended, and I was just back in the Motel 6, in my own presence again. And something happened to where, for a little while, there was such a high, I tapped into such a high vibration within me that's all I was experiencing, was this vibration of, I don't even know what you'd call it, unconditional love, peace, immense radiance. And there was no mind, no thoughts. It was just immense radiance. I don't know how, it lasted quite a while, but not, it eventually faded, and all of a sudden I was back in a Motel 6 with a sore throat, feeling horrible. And, I got the heck out of there like 5:30 in the morning. I went and crashed out in the back of my car for a few more hours at a gas station, because I was just like, I'm done. I have a cough now. I'm sure, I'm already feeling much better though. But I did have that experience where, like, holy fuck, all there is divine radiance, even in this Motel 6. And like I said, I don't know how long it lasted, but it was really powerful. And it was like a gift that God gave me. Like, look, you can find me here. You can find the divine here. And so sometimes on our journey, it's just meant to be that we're going to get stuck somewhere. Things just happen. Like, all of this, it was really interesting. I'm like, okay, wow, I just ended up in rural Kentucky in this Motel 6, and this is the only place I can go. And it's pouring rain today, and it poured rain all last night. And so there's flash flood warnings, and it's really not the time to be on the road. If I wanted to push it, I could, but there's no reason to. And so life is communicating something to me now. It's like, all right, now it's communicating. Okay, time to slow down. I've had such an enjoyable ride on the open road, so much flow and expansion. And this is the part, this is journeys, this is adventures. It's just like, sometimes they're wow, and then other times we're like, holy fuck, what is this? I'm picking up glass off this cement. Now I have to go to this Motel 6. I'm hearing all of these things here, and all the smells, and all like the feelings, and the density. And it's like, pouring rain. It's just it's like, that's the thing about the unknown. It's like, we don't know. And so for me, it's embracing whatever is coming into my experience and letting it be my teacher, letting it show me things, and opening myself. Oh, this. Oh, okay. Hello. Hello. Like this experience. Hi. Doing my best to do that. It's easy to want to be in aversion and push things away and say, this shouldn't be happening, or I don't like this. And those things can exist as well. Of course, there was the parts in me saying, oh, I don't like this last night. But those voices, those kinds of things that push and pull, like aversion and attachment, I'm averse to this way, to it happening this way, and I'm attached to it happening this other way. Those things, those energies they don't have the same grip that they used to. Over time, you just become more and more empty to where you're not touching anything. You're just more noticing, and you're just more saying things like interesting. Or you're like, how nice, or okay. There's more of this neutrality to life that sets in, more of this allowing. That's what I ask my dyad partners to prompt me with a lot, is just the word allowing. What does that conjure up? And so more and more you start to just live life, even when it's interesting scenarios, like a Motel 6 in rural Kentucky, pouring rain, you're stuck there. You experience it with this inward smile and this inner sense of allowing. Like, oh, okay, I guess I'm supposed to learn and to come to know that God exists here too. And you hear about this in much more extreme circumstances, and I don't want to come off complaining, because I'm not complaining. I think at one point I might have been grateful for the walls or whatever, I don't know. But you'll find that people have these massive non-dual experiences in war, on a stripper pole, everywhere. Because God is everywhere. You could have this experience everywhere. And it's a beautiful reminder when we are kind of put in a situation we don't want to be in or whatever. It's a beautiful opportunity, and kind of like God reminding us, like, hey, I'm here too. I'm here too, in this density, in this ick. I'm here too. And that's what like a real embodied, full, non-dual awakening can really bring about, is this realization that God is everywhere. And sometimes we need to be in the dark to help our realization come online more fully. If we were just only in the light, only in flow, how would our realization ever truly deepen? It's like that quote everyone says, no mud, no lotus. It's almost like no mud, no real non-dual realization. That's where your realization is very much tested, is in the mud. Like, is your realization real? Do you actually know that God is in everything? Do you actually know that, or is that just a conceptual thing? And I think God's really trying me out on that. Like, do you actually know I'm everywhere? Here, room 111. Motel 6. Find out. Go find out. So anyways, I'm just telling the story as it's happening, folks. That's all I'm doing. Just trying to share with you what I'm learning. I don't know. We'll see what happens from here. The rain should let up this afternoon. We'll see where I go. We'll see what happens. I'll share it. Tomorrow's video will be on Patreon. Thank you to Melissa for joining. Lovely to have you back with us. I've been doing every other video on Patreon, so YouTube and Patreon, YouTube, Patreon. So if you want to stay current and up to date on me and my journey, every other day I document it on Patreon. But if not, I'll see y'all the day after tomorrow. Thank you so much for being here. Like I said, thanks for booking sessions. It's been a joy to meet with you all on this road trip. So heart opening, and I just really, really love connecting in that way with you guys and learning about your process and helping guide you where I can. But so much love to you all. May peace be with you. Namaste.